What's up, everybody? It's HomiesOfMars back in today with another video. And, I had the weird inclination to play Realm and also talk about what's been up lately. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get on Realm. This is pretty cool. How much fame we get on death. I really like how they added this. This is nice. Oh, and this is really nice. They have a buy gold option there, which is interesting how they never added it until now. A little button there. Of course, originally, if you wanted to buy gold, you'd have to go and actually click on one of these, but now you can just do it anywhere. It doesn't matter. So, basically, I can't really talk about the accident right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I gotta wait 113 seconds. Can't really talk about my accident that I was in. Although, I was in a vehicle accident, car accident. It was a very interesting scenario. I gotta say, it did not feel good. It was pretty painful. This is actually my first bone I've ever broken. So I've never broken a bone until now, until the age of 20, which it's pretty, I can't say I'm not surprised by that because, I was never playing sports as a kid. I was always, doing other things that were not requiring, contact sports. So, anyways, I'm going to talk about the surgery because that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. Again, there's a few things that I did forget about it because of the drugs that they put me under. Of course, the surgery itself, I was completely asleep. I never woke up at all. You hear those stories of people having anesthesia awareness, and they, it's like they're awake during the surgery and they can hear the people operating on them and stuff, like their surgeon and whatnot. Now that's pretty crazy. Now that was something that I was actually kind of scared of. Like, I have a tendency to be afraid of things that may be unlikely. And those were one of the things, like, before the surgery I went into, especially the night before, I had a lot of anxiety about having that happen to me, even though it was pretty unlikely that it would happen. But I kind of calmed myself down before I went into, the hospital. And of course my parents and whatnot were there. So, it wasn't too terribly scary, and I knew that, like, I read online that they're gonna make sure that you stay comfortable before you go into surgery. So, oh god, I completely forgot how to do confused controls. Like, completely forgot how to do confused controls. But the time before the surgery was probably the hardest part because, and maybe a little bit after. Oh look, somebody's trading me. Whoa, whoa. Thanks, man. That's very kind of you. You will be in this video. Huh. Very kind man. He gave me the Deca ring instead of using the other ring. Let's see what I got. I got a mark. I don't even bother picking up marks usually. Even though I have 2 in my inventory. Anyways, I know I need to get back into the whole groove of doing commentaries again because, man, it's so hard to keep my train of thought while I'm playing a game because I got to a point where I was able to do it, but now I've kind of forgotten, kind of the technique that I had when I used to make videos back in the day. I'm 20 years old. My voice just cracked. Anyways, the whole surgery thing. The thing with surgery is that it's just when they stick the IV in you and they hook you up to the little IV bag, the IV didn't hurt at all, which, I mean, it's kind of like a little sting. And then the IV bag made your arm kind of feel cold. But once they gave me fentanyl, and I believe it was another drug, it was like 2 drugs mixed in one. It was something that was, fentanyl is kind of like Xanax in a sense that you basically lose all sort of anxiety whatsoever. Like, you don't care. Like, it's a drug that you literally don't care. And they part of the reason they gave me that as well is not only to calm me down, but they were going to be giving me a nerve block in my entire arm. So my entire arm is going to be numb, and of course that also went up to my collarbone and shoulder area, which is the main place that they're actually going to be operating on. So what they ended up giving me was a shot in the neck, which was the nerve block. So it was kind of, if I wasn't on those drugs that they gave me, I probably would have been a little, you know, anxious about getting a shot in the neck. But in the end, once they gave me that drug, I literally didn't care that they were giving me a shot in the neck. And once they gave me the shot in the neck and they gave me all the loopy drugs at the very beginning, before they even rolled me into the operating room itself, I ended up seeing my surgeon, and he came in, he was saying, "How are you doing, man?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good." And of course, I was really feeling good because of those drugs. And he ended up saying like, "Hey, man, we're gonna be rolling you in there in a minute, but we're gonna go ahead and have your parents come out here, and you'll be able to see your parents and your girlfriend before you go into the surgery." I'm like, "Okay." So they came in and they see me all like loopy, and I'm like, I barely remember some of the stuff I was telling them, but I was like, I ended up asking my surgeon if he could play Dead Mouse in the room while I was having surgery, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because he's into electronic music as well, which is interesting because this guy's like pretty old dude, like I'd say he's in his 50s and 40s or 50s, and he's listening to electronic music, and he actually knows who Dead Mouse is, and he says, "Yeah, man, I love Dead Mouse. I'll go ahead and play some Dead Mouse for you." He showed me like on his iPhone. He's like, "Hey, is this you want to listen to this album?" And he pulls up like one of Dead Mouse's older albums, like one of his oldest albums, like the one from 2006. And I was like, "Oh man, I love that album. I really loved Dead Mouse's older work." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll go ahead and play that for you." And I'm like, "That's awesome." So I'm actually surprised I can remember that, because once they gave me a second dose, they actually said, I actually asked for a second dose of the drugs that they had given me earlier. I was like, "Oh no, this guy." Oh man, are you sure? Dude, this guy's giving me. This guy's. Oh, he has this guy has the omnipotence ring. Straight up. Dude, that guy is super nice. I actually have. It's rare that I find people that nice in the game that are willing to give me items like that, because, wow, man, I need to lock this guy. He's a cool man. Dude, he completely made my wizard just freaking amazing, because this, the ST spell is way better than the tablet. I like the tablet, but like, it's just the ST spell is so much better, because the thing is like, I'm able to actually, you're able to get all of your damage in, and when you know it, because with the avatar, of course, most of you know this already, but you can't tell if you've actually give a full spell bomb on it. But I don't know what this magic egg is. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I believe it's probably part of an event that I haven't looked up yet. So I'll what am I gonna get rid of? The wisdom? Yeah, I'll get rid of the wisdom. I'll go ahead and drop it for this guy, actually, or somebody. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't trade, or you can't drop stuff on the ground like that unless you trade it to somebody. All right, well, never mind. Unless, nope, you can't take it out. Okay. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Oh no, no. Are you sure? Man. Like, you don't have to do this. This guy is rich. This guy is rich. I'll give him the exalted defense ring for that one. This guy just gave me a soulless robe. And thank you so much. This guy is literally pimping me out. Wait, no. No, dude. Okay, you know what? I feel bad for accepting these items from people. Oh man. But you know what? I also realize he's being really nice, and I gotta accept it as a gift. And what I'll do is I'll find somebody. You know what? Where's somebody I can give this to? Dude, Taco's pretty iced out. You know what? I'm gonna give you this. Trade for that's he just gave me an even trade. I don't need that. Nah, dude, you can have that. I'm gonna give you this elemental spell. Okay, well, I just traded that guy an elemental spell. I can't drop it. I would just drop this on the ground, but then I don't know, man. How dare you trade someone else? Oh, dang, it's a Staff of Rising Sun. That's pretty sick. Attack pod. Okay, fine. I'll give you the attack pod. Yeah, he's actually really... God. Thank you. Okay, well, I'll give this guy that. He can have that. You know what? This is pretty sick. Oh man, I just realized I needed to freaking fix this chat because these people are being so annoying. The ads and stuff. You ice, dude, this guy, what his name, it looks like a phallic symbol, I gotta say, but it's just a bunch of L's and I's. And this guy, very nice man. I'll give him a friend request. Anyways, back to the story. So, the surgeon actually played Deadmau5, apparently, because I actually just saw him today, and I had talked to him like, "Hey man, did you actually play Deadmau5 when I was in the operating room?" Because the thing is, I literally did not remember anything from the operating room except for one singular memory. I barely remember getting rolled in the operating room itself because whenever I asked for a second dose of the drugs that they had given me to make me, calm down and happy and stuff, when they gave me the second dose, that's when I literally like started forgetting stuff because that drug can cause amnesia. So the use of fentanyl and there's two drugs that my anesthesiologist told me that I was getting, and I completely forgot what the other one was, but I know one of them was fentanyl. So whenever they give you those drugs, sometimes in a little bit of a higher dose, it can give you amnesia and make you forget what's going on. But once I was given the second dose, I was then rolled into the operating room, and I literally remember just looking at the lights that were at the top on like above me, because the operating room has like these really cool lights that like are really like big, but like they have this. It's hard to describe, but and another thing, I remember them making me get off of my bed and switch over to the operating table. And that's about it. And then the other thing is, I remember my anesthesiologist, she was like, "All right, now I'm giving you the Michael Jackson." I'm like, "Okay." And usually they say that, the doctor will tell you to count backwards from 100 or something like that. And I did not remember any of that at all. I'm pretty sure they didn't have to tell me that. If they did, I don't remember it, and all I remember knowing is that once she'd said that, I just remember going out. I was out. Like the time between, because the thing is, they gave me some really, really heavy anesthesia. Like the anesthesia they gave me was apparently like extremely heavy, and they didn't even actually paralyze me. Because usually, whenever you go into surgery, I usually think they'll give you a paralytic as well on top of the anesthesia, but no, they just put me to sleep. Which is pretty nice because, it kind of made me a little bit more comfortable to know that I wasn't paralyzed. So if I somehow woke up from the anesthesia, I wasn't going to be paralyzed and I couldn't do anything about it. Although it'd be kind of weird because even though my arm would be numb, it'd be kind of weird, being awake with my arm being like split open. Well, not my arm, my shoulder. My shoulder being split open while they're operating on my collarbone. But anyways, once the lady said that, and once I was out, it literally felt like 15 minutes had gone by. And even though the surgery was about an hour and a half or so, it felt like 15 minutes had gone by when I woke up again. It was such a short duration that I literally, usually they say it's instant. For me, it didn't really feel as instant as it felt like 5 to 10 minutes, but I think that's like instant enough. And also that's kind of weird. What is going on with this? What is this over here? Like, what is that glitch? That's an on glitch. Anyways, weird graphical glitches in this game for some reason. I don't know if it's my graphics card or something, but oh man. Anyways, so yeah, it was kind of weird because when I woke up from the anesthesia, it was very heavy. And since it was a very heavy anesthesia, I was like, it felt like I woke up from like the longest nap of my life. But it also felt very, very uncomfortable. Like I wasn't like uncomfortable in the sense I just felt like kind of crappy. Like I felt very drained of all my energy, and also like very hungry because I hadn't been able to eat until like I hadn't eaten in literally a day because I had to stop eating the midnight before the surgery. And since I hadn't eaten in a day, and on top of that, I haven't actually had anything to drink. I was really thirsty, but they gave me something to drink. They gave me some, what was it? I think it was some ginger ale was the first thing I took a sip of, and then they gave me some water. And then about after, like, I don't know, 30 or minutes or an hour or so had gone by, I basically got up on a wheelchair. They wheeled me out to the car, and I arrived home. Still felt pretty bad while I was at home for a little bit, but about 2 or 3 hours after that, I felt really good. Like, it kind of wore off to the point where I felt really normalized almost at that point. Even though they had also given me some oxycodone as well, so they gave me some painkillers, and it was nice. But once it wore off, it felt really good. And then after that, the story basically is just taking painkillers because after surgery, my collarbone and my shoulder did feel some pain for some time, and then once I got off that, I got something lighter, and to where we are today, where I had a checkup with my doctor. He said I'm healing good, and I'm gonna check back with him again in a month, and then maybe in a month or so I can start physical therapy for my shoulder. So that'll be fun. And I know it took like forever to tell that story, and we're probably gonna condense it down in the editing process. But anyways, guys, if you're ever gonna have surgery, if you ever had surgery, you probably know where I'm coming from. But if you're expecting surgery in the near future or anything like that, you might feel a little anxious about it. Let me tell you, the best part is before the surgery. Like, it's so fun going into surgery. Like, after they gave me those drugs, I was literally excited to go and have surgery. Afterwards, you're gonna feel like a little bit under the weather, but it's nothing that was unbearable. It's a very controlled environment. I did feel nauseous coming out of surgery, but they gave you, they'll give you medicine for that, and they gave me medication for that to where it helped a lot to where I didn't feel like I was gonna, throw up or anything like that. Some people will throw up, but it's really easy not to whenever they give you the medication for it. So anyways, guys, that's the story of my surgery. I wanted to kind of have a little commentary video with you guys about it because it was pretty interesting to have surgery for my first time. And hope you have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later.